Hi, welcome to the WorkCrowd's Industry Insight series. I'm Madeline Waitman, co-founder of the WorkCrowd, and today I'm with Cordelia Meacher, MD of FieldHouse Associates. So Cordelia, you started off your career with a broad cross-sector experience in corporate communications, but you're very much now focused on high-tech growth, mobile, digital business and the whole ecosystem around them since your launch of FieldHouse in 2012, which has had great success.
Thank you very much.
So, give us a little bit of insight. What was that defining moment in your career that helped you get to where you are today?
Well, it's interesting. I don't think I really had a defining moment as such. I think it was much more of a dawning realisation.
Okay.
So I was working at a small agency working in venture and tech, and it was great fun and we were doing some good work. We were sold to a much bigger agency and they did great work there, had some great people. But as soon as we were sold, I had colleagues and friends and clients all coming to me, and journalists saying, you know, why don't you go do your own thing? You've always done this so well. I'd never thought of myself as an entrepreneur though, and so I held off and thought I'd just like the weekly, you know, the monthly paycheck. But I had so much pressure really from colleagues and clients that I decided to do it myself. And so that was the moment to really take the step and then to decide what the focus would be.
Yes.
And I realised that lots of agencies are generalists, but if you specialise in one particular space and you really understand it and you own it and you know the network, that I hoped would have more success. I took the step to be an entrepreneur, found my focus, and here we are today.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I mean, tech is obviously very fast-paced, real growth industry. And with that in mind, what do you see as the key trends that are happening right now in the PR and comms industry that are happening to meet that change?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think PR agencies just need to embrace this change, don't they, and understand that technology can actually make life easier for us all and not to be scared of it. So we at FieldHouse use WhatsApp groups really effectively for each client and also for the team, for the senior team, for the junior team. We use Google Docs.
Yes.
We use Gmail, so a lot of collaborative working. We use things like Trello and other packages that make life easier and more straightforward for clients to collaborate and work with us.
Yes.
But you know, the interesting thing is, it isn't really about the technology, it's really about the people.
Yeah.
And in the end, it doesn't matter which sector you're in, what space, if you don't know the right people, if you haven't got the right network, if you don't know the journalists really well, if you haven't got the relationships, then it isn't going to work.
Yeah. And
technology can't solve that. However many packages there are to, you know, this conference app and that conference app, in the end it's about being out there and meeting people, and no technology is ever going to change that.
No, I completely agree. It is, at the end of the day, it's about relationships.
It really is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, okay, let's fast forward. If we're thinking about sort of 2017, 2018, what do you see as the key challenges that are happening within the PR and comms industry, and I suppose how we go about tackling them?
Yes, it's a tough time, isn't it? So it's all economic doom and gloom and political chaos, and it's scary times. And what happens in scary times is that companies need to make cuts, or they get fearful of their budgets as they're putting their planning in place for next year or a 2-year budget. They look at what they can cut. And PR is obviously something that a lot of companies think is a nice bit of fluff, a bit of nice to have that can easily be cut from future budgets and from managing those forecasts. And so what PR agencies today need to be doing before this happens is proving their worth to clients and potential clients and the industry that they work in. So at FieldHouse we're very much about what is the return on your investment for PR. It's not just a nice to have. We like to have an actual impact on the businesses we're working with. We want companies to see new clients coming in. We want them to be attracting talent.
Yes.
We want them to be getting phone calls from friends and colleagues and their peers saying, oh my goodness, I read about you everywhere I go. Or you bump into someone and they say, oh, I saw you on stage, or I saw a piece about you in whichever publication. And that's the real impact. And so long as we keep doing that for our clients and actually changing the business, getting them to the next stage, then PR remains a core element of any budget. And so that's the challenge I think PR agencies have got to do, is to stay relevant to the industry and the people they're working with. And if we don't do that, we'll be cut from those budgets.
But actually, all the more, you're absolutely correct, because in doing that, well, actually, when the times are tough, if they keep their name out there, they keep their presence, all the more, then actually when the market does improve, they're set up to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. If we're vital today and we help them through the bad times, which we absolutely can. I mean, at FieldHouse, we work with lots of companies looking for funding. And in fact, there's a lot of venture capital money out there at the moment. There's not a dearth of money, even though there's economic doom and gloom. And so we help those companies achieve those funding rounds, or at least we try to. If we can get them to that stage, get them through this difficult time, get them to their funding round, then when their businesses are rocketing, we're still there and we're their trusted partner.
Yes.
So it's the same point, isn't it, that when the times are bad economically and politically, if we can help companies get through those bad times, then we're still there in the end. And if they turn out to be the next Facebook, then brilliant. You know, we're still there all the way through to their success as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Cordelia. That has been very insightful, and thank you for joining us for today.
No, thank you for having me.